Hey guys, welcome to Selenium WebDriver Training Critical Topics Season 1. So as of now, in my YouTube channel, I already uploaded several videos for Selenium WebDriver with Java, testng, Maven, different framework like data-driven framework, keyword-driven framework, hybrid framework, BDD cucumber like that, right? So from now, whatever critical functionality, whatever is not covered in my YouTube channel, I will try to cover those. And in the same playlist, whatever I'll be uploading this video, right, you can find out all important critical videos now onward for the Selenium WebDriver with Java. So in this session 1, I will cover how you can perform cross-browser testing, right, using testng and Selenium WebDriver. So what is cross-browser testing? So cross-browser testing is a type of functional test to check that web application working as expected in different browser like Firefox, Chrome, Safari, etc. along with browser version. Suppose say today you are just having 10 test cases or 20 test cases, right? But you want to execute all the test cases in all the browser to check, right, there is no font size mismatch in different browser. In case of CSS or HTML validation, right, it can any difference it can be discovered in different browser. In case of any page alignment and deep size issue across different browser, you can find out. In case of any image orientation also you can find out. In case any kind of compatibility issue of the browser with different operating system, you can also find out. And apart from that, so I suppose say some of the organization might use different browser at the same time, so you can see that the Chrome browser is working in the 93%, 94%, 95, like 6 like that, right? So that is your objective. You can test the same set of test cases. You can execute the same set of test cases in different browser and operating system. So with cross-browser testing, user makes sure that site is rendered the same in every browser. User can perform cross-browser testing either manually or in an automated way. But the manual method is very tedious. The reason being that while performing cross-browser testing, users do not only care about the browser but their different version and the operating system too. So browser coverage is an integral aspect of test coverage. The primary agenda of cross-browser testing is to perform testing on different browser and version combination. So using Selenium for cross-browser testing help in rigorous testing of the code across multiple browser, thereby helping achieve better browser coverage. This in turn help in improving the user experience across the target web browser, right? So let's see how we can implement, right, the cross-browser testing using Selenium WebDriver and testng framework. So let's first create a project here. So click on the open the Eclipse first, click on the new and click a Java project.
That is fine.
Then we will convert the Java project into testng. Suppose a project name I am giving, right, whatever I can give it, that Selenium WebDriver critical topics. Selenium critical training, and you can click on the finish button here after creating the project. So it might take couple of seconds time, right? And then the project will be created and Java will be automatically associated. There is a src package, right? So first we need to associate the Selenium jar file, right? So if you right click here, you can go to the properties, you can go to the Java build path, right? You can click on the add external jars. So for that, right, you need to download the Selenium standalone jar file. You can use 4 version as well. So now my version is 3.14. I will try to include it in my project and I will click on the apply. Then I also need to, right, add the testng as well, right, to the project. So how can you do it? We need to click on the add library. So first you need to install testng in your Eclipse once it is installed, right? In case you are finding difficulty, you can refer my testng videos, right, where you can install the testng. After that you need to add the library like testng in your project. You need to select the testng, you need to click on the next, right? and you need to click on finish. Then you need to click on apply and close. You could see now your Selenium jar file also associated, testng also associated along with the Java system library in your project. If you click apply and close, you could see testng and then your Selenium server standalone 3.1 per person is getting associated to your project. Now select the src file, create a package here, create a package. So critical topics training, right? Critical topics training. Then we can create a testng class, right? So how can you create it? Right click on the package, new, and click on the other here, right? We can select the testng class, we can click on the next. Here you can give like critical topics season 1, right? And we can click on the finish. So this is the testng class we have created, right? Now in case you are already familiar with the testng, you already know, right? We can create, we can execute multiple test cases, right? So we can, so in case we want to open something, right, we can use the before test and after test, so that in case we are having multiple test case, we can use the, right, the same kind of common step will be executed for every test case, right? So we'll be using the first tag called before test tag, right? So this is the before test tag, and here we can create a method called setup public void setup method for setting up the browser properties, right? So here we can first thing is that declare the global variable for WebDriver interface, WebDriver driver, right? Then we need to import the WebDriver interface from the Selenium, right? org.open Selenium packages. We need to import the before test annotation from the org.testng.annotation, and here we can set up the property for the Chrome browser, right? So suppose say that is the same line of code we can use it. First one is the right browser details. So this is the browser, sorry, Chrome driver path, and this is the webdriver.chrome.driver, right? That is the path, we'll be copying it here, right? Then driver already global variable you already declared, right? WebDriver driver, then we can use driver equal to new Chrome driver, right? Driver equal to new Chrome driver. Then we need to import the Chrome driver from the org.openq.selenium.chrome. Then we'll be maximizing the driver dot window, sorry, driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. So that is the your setup method. Then I can create a after test, right? So say let's create a after test. Why I am defining the global driver variable? Because I want to create use the same instance, right? So here it will be after test. That is the reason I want to define as a global. So the driver object I can use it, right? So after test it will be tear down method for quitting the browser, right? Here you can just simply quit the browser, driver dot close or quit, right? Here we need to import the tear down method here. So after test annotation from the org.testng.annotation, then I will create a test cases, right? I can create one or two test cases like that, right? Suppose say at the rate test annotation. So that's why I can create test cases. Suppose say in the test cases I want to, what I want to do, I want to open the Facebook page, right? So say Facebook, right? So here you need to do driver dot get, right? So you want to keep the name of the Facebook, right? So here you need to keep the Facebook page part. So what you want to open it here, the Facebook page. So here you can try here Facebook, so that same page you can open it with the help of your automated script. So you can copy it and you can paste it here. So driver dot get, that is the objective, right? So now you just need to enclose to it double quote. Now your testng class is designed, right? So you can run it because it's testng class. You can run it with the help of testng test. Okay, so it will, what it will do, so at the rate of at the with the help of the before test, it will try to launch the browsers, it will maximize the browser. Then as per the test case objective, right, it will just open the Facebook page, and add with the help of the after test, it will close the page, right? So here you can type something, right? You can get the title of the page and you can print it out as well, right? So driver dot get title, right? You can print out the title in the console, right? Now you can run it with the help of testng test, right? Whatever test case you are writing it, right? But I want to run it in multiple browser and with the help of the testng.xml file. Then how can you do it? So first you need to convert your project to testng project, right? You need to right click here testng and convert to testng. So automatically you could see, right, that is the thing will be added here, right? Suit name, right, thread name test, and the class name will be added here. Now click on the finish here first. So automatically testng.xml file will be created. So you can update the testng file. Here we can give the suit name called uh, parallel suit, right? Parallel suit, and test name I can give, right, maybe parallel testing suit, right? And suit name you can give it like whatever browser we are doing it, right? So Chrome browser, Chrome browser testing, this is the test name you can give it, right? Now if you run it from here, right, the testng xml file, so option will be testng suit instead of the testng test, right? But here what you are running it, right, you are running a single test case in single browser, but we are not able to meet that objective, right? We will be running the same test case in multiple browser and even parallelly, so that objective is not getting met, right? So it will run in the Chrome browser only, because that is the hard coded value we are doing it here, right? Okay, and with the help of testng xml file, testng should also you can run it in the Chrome browser, so you can get the desired result. Total test case run one, right? This is your suit name, right? And this is your test name. You could see here, this is your suit name, parallel testing suit, Chrome browser testing, right? This is the package name dot the class name, and this is the method name, right? Total number of time you'll have to execute the test case, it is getting displayed. Now my objective is that I want to run it for multiple browsers. So say for now I want to run it for two browsers, Chrome browser and the Firefox browser, and parallelly, right? Then how can you do it, right? So the first thing is that you need to use the parameter, because in the testing here the parameter plays a pivotal role, means same set of test case, right? Same, so with the same kind of thing, right? You can run it in the different way, right? So that is called the parameter. Okay, so how can you do it? So in the before test, let's first implement something called parameter, right? And here you can use something called browser, because you want to parameter the browser, right? For here, for the parallel testing, browser, that is the variable I am giving. Now you need to import the parameter from the testing annotations, right? So it will be always org.testing annotation, not the bus commander. Okay, please be remember. And in the setup method, right, I can give something called pass something called argument like string, same way the browser, because it is a string nature, right? And here instead of the hard coding, right, Chrome browser always I want to give the condition, right, if else condition like that. In case you want to use multiple browser, you can give it if browser dot equal ignore case, dot equal ignore case, right? What is the name? In case is equal ignore case fire Chrome, say Chrome, right? Then what will happen? Then it will set the properties for the Chrome browser, and it will maximize, sorry, it will create the object or instance, and then it will maximize, right? And here you can give one else condition, right? If else if else, in case it is not matching with that, right, in case it is equal to Firefox browser, you can keep Safari, IE, whatever possible, right, like with the help of the if else condition, right. So what it will do, it will be just setting the properties for the G-code in case it is a Firefox, right. So that driver also installed in my desktop, right. So it will be webdriver.gcode.driver, and this is the path, right. So this is my Chrome driver, and you could see this is installed in my desktop, and this is my G-code driver also, it is in my desktop. G-code driver is for the Firefox and it is for the Chrome browser, right. Sorry, it will be not if else, it will be else if, else, right. Then I want to create an object or instance for the, instead of the Chrome driver it will be Firefox driver, right. Now you need to import it right here, otherwise the rest of the step will stay same, right. So in the before test, because during execution, right, first I want to check which browser I want to execute it, right. So that like setup method will be executed in case it is a equal to the Chrome browser, it will be executed that way, and it will create the object of the Chrome browser, Chrome driver instance, right. So that Chrome browser will open. In case it is equal to Firefox browser, so that it will try to set up based on the property set up for the Firefox browser, right. G-code Firefox browser, or like that browser will be open, and after that it will maximize, right. Then it will execute my test cases, which is the nothing but the opening on the Facebook page, and it will print the title, right, and it will close the browser. So that is what is by done, test case objective is met, right. So that is the way I can update my test cases. Now I want to run my test cases in both the browser, then how can I do it, right. So I need to update my test cases testng.xml file also accordingly, right, to meet the criteria. So how can you do it, right. So here, right, you could see should name, right, you no need to change and name anything, but here after the should name, right, you need to enter something called uh, parallel equal to test. So test case level you want to do it parallel, right. After that you can give a space and you can give some thread count, right, because you want to execute parallel way, right, so that multiple thread can work here, right. So I can use thread count equal to true, because I want to execute one test case in true browser, right. And here you can remove that part, right, test part. So test name is fine, right. So in the should name, right, you are whatever name you are giving parallel testing should, that is fine. Then you need to give parallel PARALLEL equal to test. So every test you want to run it parallelly, and thread count. So how many thread you want to use it, so that in case you are having 4 test cases, you can use 4 test cases, so that 4 test cases will run simultaneously. Here it is one test case, but I want to run it for the two browsers at the same time, so I'll be using the thread count as 2, right. Then test name part to that part, right, I want to copy here, because I'll be running, right, the same test for the multiples way, right, for the multiple browsers. So before that, so first test name, that's fine, Chrome browser testing. Here you need to implement the parameter, right. So give parameter, right, that is the syntax of the parameter. And here what is the name? So name is the browser, right. And what is the value? So what is the value here? Value is the Chrome, right. So first one I want to execute it, then same thing I want to execute it as well, right, for the other browser. So here it will be Firefox browser testing, right, and here the browser in value will be Firefox, right, and the class will be same class, right, because I want to execute the same thing. I'm closing the classes tag, I'm closing the class tag, then I'm also closing the test tag, and at the end of the day it is ending with should tag. So that is the thing you need to update it, right. So first thing in the should level, you need to use the term called parameter equal parallel equal to test, you need to give the thread count. In case it's one thread, right, so one by one it will be executed. So first it will try to execute in the Chrome browser, then it will execute in the Firefox browser, right? So here test name, you are giving it whatever is name, requirement, the parameter, as you are using the in the class levels parameter, right? So you need to give the same parameter name and the value equal to whatever value is either Chrome or, right, the condition is matching with the Chrome or the Firefox, so the same name you need to give it, so the relevant thing will be triggered automatically, right? After that you need to give the classes tag and the class whatever class you want to execute. In case you want to execute multiple class, you can give it one by one, right, here under the classes tag. And similarly the next parameter, it will be same browser name and the it will be Firefox, and then you are doing the same classes, you are closing the test tag and you are closing the suit tag. So that is the way you can write your update your testng.xml file for the, right, kind of parallel testing or cross browser testing. Now let's try to execute it with the help of testng suite. So what will happen, right? The same test case, right? Facebook page, it will try to open in both the browser, Chrome and the Firefox at the same time, because we have given the thread count at 2, so it will try to execute in 2 way, right? You can see Chrome browser is starting, and also it is also opening the Firefox browser as well, right? So you can see Chrome browser already executed and Firefox is already started launch at the same time. Parallel it is trying to execute it. It is not like one by one, and it will enter the Facebook page, right? And it will enter take the page. Title of the page, right? So you could see here two test cases got executed, right? Two method, but test is one, right? Test is two also, right? So first one is that what is the suite name? Suite name is parallel testing suite. Then the test name is the cross browser testing, right? This is the package name dot the class name. This is the method name. Second is again, right, suite name is still same. This is your test name, this is your class name dot package name dot class name, this is your method name. Now let's try to add one more test cases here, right. So I will be adding one more test cases called Google, right. Here I can just update it the Google. So here two test cases, right, and two test cases I want to run it two browsers, so it will be considered as the four test cases. So you can give the thread count as 4, so it will run parallelly, right. So two test cases, one is the Facebook test case, one is the Google test case. We will try to run based on the alphabetical order here, right? So what will run first? A, B, C, D, E, F. Facebook will run first, and then it will Google. If you change the sequence, if you want to prioritize, you can give the priority, right? Otherwise, it will go after the sequence. So two test cases, Facebook test case will be executed in the Firefox browser and the Chrome browser. Google test case also executed in the Firefox browser and the Chrome browser. And here I have given, right, suit parallel equal to test level and the thread count equal to 4. So definitely 4th thread will try to execute parallelly, and say two test cases will run, right, simultaneously in the two browsers. So 4 test cases will be run simultaneously. So based on the alphabetical order, your Facebook test case will be executed first in both the browser, and then your Google test case will execute in the both. You could see it is trying to execute parallelly here. Yeah, already that is already open here. So Facebook and then Google, right. So that is the way, right, you can save your time and you can certify that same test case you are able to run on the required browser, right. So in case you want to run Safari, Chrome, Firefox, like you can run the same test cases, right. So just you need to run your write the script for your test cases in the different classes level, and you need to update accordingly testng XML file. In case you want to run multiple at the same time under the classes tag, you need to give that thing, right. In case you want to run all your test cases in different browser, you need to just copy the same line of code and you need to change the browser type here. So that's why you can do the, like, um, cross browser testing with the help of Selenium WebDriver and testng. So that's all from today's session. Thank you.